Yeah.
And then yes. Okay.
Welcome everyone to our regularly scheduled meeting. We'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. Ms. Sheldon, will you please call the roll for us?
Mayor Holly Berry.
Here.
Vice Mayor Stephanie Dalton.
Here.
Commissioner Jamie Fairbanks Harvey.
Here.
Commissioner Pete Phillips.
Present.
Commissioner James Wilson.
I'm here.
For today's invocation, please join me in a moment of silence to reverently collect our thoughts, pray, and ready ourselves for this meeting and the duties to which we have been called. Thank you all. Mr. Brennan, will you please lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First, we have consideration of the minutes for approval or correction. Bless you, Commissioner Fairbanks Harvey. For the October 15th, 2024 work session, any corrections? If not, do I have a motion to approve as written?
So moved.
We have a motion from Commissioner Phillips. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
We have a second from Commissioner Fairbanks Harvey. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have the minutes for the October 15th regular commission meeting. Any corrections? If not, do I have a motion to approve as written?
I'll move.
We have a motion from Vice Mayor Dalton. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
We have a second from Commissioner Fairbanks Harvey. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. For my mayor's report today, I just wanted to remind everyone that this Friday, November 22nd, will be our final community movie night of the year. The movie for this month is Elf, and the Chattanooga Elf will be available for photos from 6 to 7 p.m. So dress up in all of your festive attire and bring the family. A Culturelicious food truck will be there with Good and Clever Creamery with ice cream outside and free popcorn inside while supplies last. As this is our last meeting before Thanksgiving, I want to wish everyone safe travels and a happy Thanksgiving with your family or your found family. I also want to take this opportunity to remind everyone that the holidays can be a difficult time for many. And the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline offers 24/7 call, text, and chat access to trained crisis counselors who can help people experiencing suicidal, substance use, mental health crisis, or any other kind of emotional distress, as well as anyone who is worried about a loved one that may need crisis support. And finally, the next Red Bank Community Food Pantry is Thursday, November 21st. That's this Thursday, from 4:30 to 6 p.m. This is the last food pantry before Thanksgiving, and they usually have very high demand. You can sign up to volunteer at their sign-up genius at redbankfoodpantry.org. And next we have our report from Vice Mayor Stephanie Dalton.
Thank you, Mayor. Welcome, everyone. You can drop off your old fall pumpkins at the Red Bank Recycling Center starting back on November 27th and going through December 7th. During normal recycling center hours. These pumpkins, like last year, will go to feed the pigs at Gentry Homestead and help us reduce landfill waste, which saves us taxpayer dollars. So a win all around. This Thursday, November 21st, Red Bank Baptist Church is giving away 400 turkeys. While supplies last, 1 turkey per vehicle, and pickup is between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. Come on out to the Meeting House on Saturday, November 30th from 5 to 8 p.m. for their Merry Makers Market, hosted in partnership with Walnut Street Publishing. They will be featuring art and unique gifts from local artists of all ages, with holiday movies, hot cocoa, and treats that you can purchase from the Meeting House. Through December 12th, at City Hall, you can drop off new and unwrapped book, toy, and game donations for Northside Neighborhood House's Santa's Workshop. From our schools, congratulations. We have lots of congratulations in order. Congrats to Red Bank Elementary's Learning Garden on recently being awarded the Whole Kids Grant from Whole Foods that will allow them to purchase and install a greenhouse to keep their garden growing through the winter. congratulations to Red Bank Middle School on their recent Active Outdoor Spaces Grant Award. The grant will be used to create a vibrant outdoor classroom with a sensory garden that will include 2 raised bed herb gardens, a sensory garden with a stone path, and large art sculptures created by the students. And huge congratulations to our very own Red Bank High School Blue Cross Technology Academy on their recognition as the first model academy in Hamilton County. Yesterday, our wonderful Blue Sky Tech Academy and Red Bank High School educators received their Model Academy recognition from the National Career Academy Coalition in Chicago, Illinois. Way to go, Lions. And finally, thank you to everyone who voted and who supported my reelection to the Red Bank City Commission. I'm honored to be able to continue serving the best interests of our community, and I'm so grateful for your faith and your trust in me. And I also want to say congratulations to Commissioner-elect Dr. Terry Holmes, who is here with us tonight. I'm excited to continue working with you over these next 4 years. And last but not least, I want to thank Commissioner Phillips for serving our community so well these past 4 years. We haven't always seen things exactly the same way. And for that, I am grateful. The perspective that you have brought to this board has always been founded on care for this community, and you have served with the utmost integrity. Thank you for being our tireless champion on the WWTA board, on our first ever comprehensive plan, for our small businesses, for sponsorships, for our Christmas parade and festival and Jubilee, and for knowing the difference between spending money and investing money. Your time here has been spent and invested in positive ways that we will continue to see for years to come. Thank you. And that's it for me.
Next, we have our report from Commissioner Fairbanks Harvey.
Thank you for being here. Thank you, Red Bank residents, for voting in the November 5th election. Congratulations to Vice Mayor Dalton being reelected, and Terry Holmes for her first election. Welcome to the commission. The Red Bank Community Fair took place on Tuesday, October 29th from 5 to 7 at the Red Bank High School football field and track for children to enjoy the Halloween event. It was very successful, a fabulous response from Red Bank High School, and the community created a great memory. Congratulations to Blake and Jessica Pierce on the November 13th birth of Grayson Abbott Pierce. They are active Red Bank residents who lead the White Oak Bicycle Co-op. The Red Bank Christmas Festival and Parade, which Mr. Gravy will be up directly, will be Saturday, December 14th from 3 to 8 for shopping, eating, and fun, and the parade will be from 6 to 7. Small business shopping will happen on Saturday, November 30th. All of us are encouraged to buy local, whether it's a shop or a restaurant. My sincere thanks to Mr. Pete Phillips for serving. I've served 2 years with you on the commission. I appreciate your unwavering support for Red Bank. You offered your insights, especially about that truck, consistently, that you contributed wanting the best outcomes. Good days and years ahead with your life and your music.
Right.
The next Listen and Learn will be in 2025, January 20th at Sabor from 6 to 7 p.m. And lastly, happy Thanksgiving to all of you these next days when you gather with family and friends, whether you're here or you're traveling. And for this Thanksgiving time, may you remind yourself of the count your blessings, whether they're a little or a lot. Amen.
Next, we have our report from Commissioner Phillips.
Well, I got a real short one tonight. Thank you guys for the accolades. I really appreciate it. And the Red Bank Pickleball Mafia honorary captain. I appreciate that. You know, I also got my ditch dweller, you know, and I'm a proud ditch dweller. I'm really excited about everything that's been going on. In fact, the plan has come together far better than I had ever hoped it would. So I appreciate that. I appreciate all the staff. It's been a pleasure to work with, and our fellow elected officials. I think that we show the respect that a lot of cities envy around in our county even. So I appreciate that. And I hope everybody keeps up with the 5 things we can do as a team. And really excited about the advisory boards. We've got a bunch of people, many hands lighten the load, and I appreciate you all for having me. So thank you.
And finally, we have a report from Commissioner Wilkinson.
Okay, I don't have much to add other than what I was going to say has already been said. But I do want to congratulate our Vice Mayor for winning her reelection and Ms. Terry Holmes for winning as well. I'm looking forward to being the only man up here on the stage. I will be outnumbered, so wish me luck, but I'm very excited for the future.
You've been outnumbered from the beginning.
Yeah.
All right, next we have our report from our city manager, Mr. Martin Granum.
Thank you, Mayor. And I'll just highlight the November newsletter, which came out earlier in the month. We haven't met since then. There's a wonderful keynote article from Commissioner Wilkinson. So please, if you haven't read that, take a look. It's really a wonderful seasonal message. Thank you, Commissioner. I have been asked, when will Red Bank's next commission be seated? As you know, there was an election on November 5th. The Red Bank City Charter establishes 2 criteria for when they will take office. First, the Hamilton County Election Commission must certify the results. Then, once the election results are certified, the newly elected commissioners are to be sworn into office at the next regularly scheduled commission meeting. That's our city charter guidance. So, the Election Commission has until the 3rd Monday following the election to certify the results. That's in their operating guidance. And the Red Bank Commission regularly meets the 1st and 3rd Tuesdays of the month. So if you apply all those criteria to our November 5th election, the election will be certified not later than Monday, the 2nd of December, and the new commissioners will be seated on Tuesday, the 3rd of December. Once the new commission is formed, their first order of business will be to select a mayor and vice mayor. So that's an update on the process that lies ahead. As you're aware, we have been discussing the domain unification and cloud migration project that the city is doing as part of our digital transformation. I am happy to report that we were able to move the fire department over to the new domain and the cloud server. Other departments will be moved to the new domain sometime after Thanksgiving. Among many benefits, this is an important step on the path to enhanced cybersecurity for our municipal data. Last week, Tracy Perry, wearing her Director of Human Resources hat, conducted 2 employee fair outreach events for our city staff. A total of 34 employees attended. Having the employee fair itself is a mark of an employer of choice, not to mention presenting the valuable benefits themselves. For those who attended, they were briefed by Tennessee Consolidated Retirement System, or TCRS. They were provided an opportunity to purchase Aflac short-term coverage, the opportunity to contribute to our Mission Square administered 457 plan, which saw a noticeable increase in enrollment following that presentation. And Atlas Insurance Agency, our benefits insurance broker, briefed our medical, health reimbursement arrangement, or HRA, dental, vision, life, and text care benefits. Atlas Insurance Agency also produced an individualized, and I'll show this up there for just eyewash. It's a 1-page total compensation statement unique to each employee to quantify the value of our total compensation package to that individual. So we're grateful for the great support we get from Atlas Insurance. Thank you, commissioners, for your support of our most precious resource, our human resource. In an email to each of you earlier this afternoon, I proposed Tuesday, the 25th of February, 2025, for the 4th annual Red Bank Commission retreat. I have confirmed this date with Hannah Rogers, our MTAS representative, but this is just a conversation starter. I just wanted to get that out there. My goal is to have a date established that works for everybody, most especially the 5 of you, and Commissioner-elect Holmes. So let me know by email if this works for you or doesn't work, and we'll corporately discuss at our next meeting and find a date that works for everybody. And I am engaging separately with Commissioner-elect Holmes on this topic. At your seat, I placed a 2-pager, front and back, with some general information regarding the proposed Midgate Commons development on Morrison Springs. And we've had several conversations about that, but I wanted to introduce it into this public setting. I did this to let you know that Director Leslie Johnson and her community development team are working with the developer, Mr. John Colville, and his HGH construction team. Leslie has outlined the path to move this concept forward in accordance with our ordinances to include appropriate engagements with both the Planning Commission and the City Commission when the time is right. If you have any other questions at this very early stage, please contact either Leslie or myself. A few key notes from Public Works: leaf collection began yesterday, and a traffic study is underway in Duncan Hills. You may recall some commission meetings ago, a resident came in and spoke to us collectively. That traffic study will continue until the 4th of January, at which time our 3-department traffic safety working group, and that's our planner and community development, our public works team, including streets, and our law enforcement professionals, comprise a 3-department traffic safety working group. They will evaluate the information they've received in January. Lastly, this is the last full meeting of this commission. We will appropriately hail and farewell everyone at our next commission meeting on the 3rd, to include seating our new commissioner and selecting the mayor and vice mayor for the next 2 years. But as your city manager, I wanted to thank this commission, this group of 5 commissioners, and especially the departing Commissioner Phillips, for the trust and empowerment you have given me to lead this great team of Red Bank professionals as we serve the city of Red Bank collectively. Thank you, commissioners, and Godspeed, Commissioner Phillips. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Granum. We have 2 items of unfinished business. The first is item A, public hearing and ordinance number 24-1265, an ordinance of the Board of Commissioners of the City of Red Bank, Tennessee, amending the zoning ordinance and maps of the city to rezone property located at 107 Cartwright Street from R1A residential to RTZ residential townhouse 0 lot line. And this is our second and final reading. I'll turn that over to Director Johnson.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. We do have our applicants in attendance, so we are good to go. The first, again, the rezoning tonight this evening is almost a redo from last commission. Action was taken on first reading, but unfortunately the public hearing was rescheduled to this evening to ensure a representative of the request was present. So we do have in attendance this evening the applicant, property owner, and general contractor for 107 Cartwright Street, Mr. Gordon Pullman. He is here. His intent is to build 3 attached townhomes on the current vacant corner lot with proposed street addressing off of Red Oak Drive. The property is located just inside WWTA's sewer moratorium. However, the applicant is fully aware of his responsibility in obtaining the necessary approvals for sewer connections prior to a building permit being issued. This request was heard and has been recommended unanimously by the Planning Commission and by planning staff for the proposed rezoning from R1A to RTZ. It is in harmony with similar applications of the RTZ classification and with similar multifamily use structures in the neighborhood. The ordinance before you again is for second and final reading.
Thank you very much, Director Johnson. I would like to welcome the applicant, Mr. Holgen. Is that correct? Welcome. Please come forward.
Thank you, absolutely.
Anything at all you'd like to add?
Appreciate it. Well, I'll just thank you so much for the consideration. Thank you, Leslie, for all your work on this. And just want to say we're excited about it. We hope you support. We think it'll be a nice add to the area. It's similar to adjacent property types, and this product specifically has seemed to be desirable amongst customers that we've already been getting from other builds and Red Bank. So we appreciate your support and look forward to it.
Good to hear. Any questions for the applicant?
I mean, it may be here, but are they 3 detachable or it's?
It's 3 attached.
Attached,
Yes,
okay.
for sale,
All right,
yes.
all right.
So
Thank you.
plan is to sell them and roughly 1,200 square feet. So they'll kind of target that lower price range, which is getting more and more finite as we know.
For sale, for rent?
For sale, yes. So hoping high 2s, which is unfortunately becoming a little lower.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's
Yeah.
now considered on the more affordable side.
Yes,
but Once
absolutely.
upon a
So
time was
that's the
was
objective.
not.
Yeah, that's the objective, obviously, and, this site permits that subject to the rezoning, so we hope you support and,
Now, having those structures be attached considerably lowers the construction cost, does it not?
it does, the fire rating, is a little more expensive, but from a land perspective, it does make it easier to get to that lower price point and lower construction.
Bit more square foot per
Yes,
acre.
yes, for sure.
It's the sweet spot.
Right.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
All right, any other questions for the applicant?
If I might add, Mayor,
Please.
I just want to confirm that we did re-advertise and the property was continued posted. So we maintain that public awareness and public information through the duration of this process.
Excellent. Thank you, Director Johnson. In that case, speaking of public hearing, I'll go ahead and open that. So if there's anyone present who would like to speak on the rezoning of 107 Cartwright Street, I'll let Mr. Granum go over the ground rules briefly.
Thank you, Mayor. This is the time for public comment. Please observe the rules. Comments should be addressed to the board as a whole and not to a particular commissioner, the city staff, or the audience. The commission is here to listen, not necessarily to respond, although there may be response in this public meeting. At this time, citizens are invited to the podium to comment. Please begin by stating your name and address.
Okay. If there is no one present who would like to speak for this public hearing, then I'll go ahead and close the public hearing. I will say for the record, we had a few comments at our previous meeting that were recorded. We can go ahead and open this for discussion. This is our second and final reading. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll move.
We have a motion from Vice Mayor Dalton. Do I hear a second?
I'll do it.
We have a second from Commissioner Phillips. Any further discussion of the board?
Well, I gotta have one thing. I missed it in my report, but congratulations to you and to Ms. Holmes. And also for the others that ran. It takes a lot to do that. I'm sorry about that, but I didn't even get to put that in there.
Unrelated to
Yeah, unrelated to
of
this
107
issue,
Cartwright
you
Street,
know.
but thank you for your
Yeah.
comments, Commissioner
Oops.
Phillips.
Please come back.
Yeah.
Yes, you are still on the hook for getting those sponsorships.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
all right, returning to the topic of 107 Cartwright Street. If there's no further discussion of the board, we just had our public hearing. If that's the case, then we'll go ahead and have Ms. Sheldon call the vote for us.
Mayor Holly Berry,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Stephanie Dalton,
Yes.
Commissioner Jamie Fairbanks Harvey.
Yes.
Commissioner Pete Phillips.
Yes.
Commissioner Hayes.
Yes.
All right, motion carries on second and final reading. Congratulations, Mr. Holgan. Thank you for your investment in our city. All right, our second item of unfinished business is ordinance number 24-1266, an ordinance of the city of Red Bank, Tennessee to amend the fiscal year 2025 operating budget beginning July 1st, 2024 and ending June 30th, 2025 in order to appropriate unbudgeted expenditures and grant funding for the general fund in the amount of $132,226.35 and the solid waste fund in the amount of $52,233.90. This is our second and final reading. And I'll turn it over to Ms. Pickle.
Good evening again.
Good evening.
This is to approve the amendment to the budget and not to approve the expense or the grant acceptance. And like you said, this is the second reading, so it's business as usual, I suppose that you could say. So this is to not to accept, but to amend the budget for the acceptance of the grant revenue that we received from THSO and for the expenditure to repair the garbage truck. Unit 788, I think it was? Yes, 788.
A budget amendment to reflect a previously accepted expenses and revenues.
Mhm.
Excellent.
Yes.
Any questions for Ms. Pickle? All right, let's see, do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll move.
I have a motion from Vice Mayor Dalton. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
We have a second from Commissioner Wilkinson. Any further discussion? Any comments from the residents present? If there's no more comments, then yes.
Vice Mayor Stephanie Dalton.
Yes.
Commissioner Jamie Fairbanks. Commissioner Pete Phillips.
Yes.
Commissioner Hazel.
Yes.
All right, motion carries on second and final reading. Thank you, Ms. Pickle. New business, we have another public hearing and ordinance number 24-1267. An ordinance of the Board of Commissioners of the City of Red Bank, Tennessee, amending the zoning ordinance and maps of the city to rezone property located at 4105 Dayton Boulevard from R3 residential to C1 commercial. First reading, Director Johnson.
Thank you, Mayor. As you stated, this is a second public hearing this evening. This is for the rezoning at 4105 Dayton Boulevard from R3 to C1, with the property owner, Mr. John Kelly and son, being present. For reference, the parcel in question for rezoning is located next to Walgreens. Included on this parcel is an existing two-story building which supports the adjacent apartment complex and the business capacity. But the parcel itself is more suitable for commercial use classification. And I also understand it's the intent of the property owner to soon engage in some renovations, which may have the opportunity for future commercial use opportunities. This was recommended unanimously from the Planning Commission, in addition to planning staff. So the ordinance this evening to rezone the parcel from R1 to C3 is for your first reading, and I recommend approval.
Can you give me the applicant's name one more time?
It is John Kelly.
Kelly. Thank you. All right, and we have the applicant present. Do you have a question for Ms. Johnson?
I don't have a question. I do have something to say though.
Okay, welcome,
Thank you.
Hey there.
Mr. Kelly.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for joining us. Vice Mayor?
This is an administrative thing, on the ordinance. Summer, it says 1467 and it's supposed to be 1267.
All right.
That's it.
Um,
On the actual.
On the actual ordinance, yes.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Mr. Kelly, is there anything you'd like to add about the project?
No, ma'am, just appreciate your consideration.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Any questions for the applicant?
Well, I got some. I'm your neighbor. I'm across the street. This is where the Gray Fox part of the Gray Fox used to be. I'm going way back now. Yep. Oh, yeah. That's where my barber was. So it's I mean, it was always businesses underneath there. I mean, my barber was there, got my dog washed there. So is this, I mean, it seems to me this is more of a correction.
Yes.
I would agree. As it is identified on our zoning map, it does have to follow the rezoning procedure.
Okay, all right.
That's how it identifies, it's just more housekeeping efforts.
All right. Now, there's no apartments, so there's no residential above that. It's all, that's just that both areas want to be commercial like it should be. Okay. That's the only question I had.
Yeah, I'm amazed it's not, honestly.
Yeah, I did.
It does appear on its face that it would be commercial.
Yes, but given it has, again, provided that business support to the residential application. Originally, that may have been the intent.
Yeah.
But as time has gone and things have changed and taking a look at your appropriately zoned parcels, yes, this is a better application for that property.
Well, when they redone all that zoning over there, I had a few corrections I had to make also. So, I mean, I think this is just one of those that slipped under the wire, to be honest with you. So congratulations, and look forward to seeing what goes up there.
Do you own just that building or do you own the complex behind it, the apartment complex behind it as well?
Previous owners did a subdivision,
Okay.
subdivided the building that we bought away from the apartment complex.
Okay.
Another owner has the apartment complex, and we're looking forward to redeveloping the front parcel.
Okay.
The one that is really, really visible from the road.
I'm glad to
Is
hear
there
that.
is there anything you can share about your plans for redevelopment of that parcel?
I don't.
If it's too early stages, it's
Yeah,
fine.
no, the planner has the plans, Michael, and essentially, the building was actually submitted and approved probably 5 years ago or something like that. Nothing ever done with it. We're using the same aesthetic, so we're happy to bring those to your attention. We can get those in front of you. The biggest thing is the building code that Red Bank appears to has changed from 2013 to 2018, so we're going to update all that. And so we're sort of waiting on the architects and engineers to do that, but other than that, we're ready to start swinging hammers.
Oh, okay. Good to hear. Commissioner Fairbanks.
That's what my question was, if you had any idea as to what would develop there.
So the demand has been pretty incredible. We've been very pleased so far. 6 of the 8 potential units are already committed for pre-leasing. So, we're looking forward to revitalizing that little stretch there. Yes.
Yes.
Ditto.
Excellent.
Well, thank you for doing
Yeah,
that.
thank you.
If there's no more questions for the applicant, then I will open the public hearing. Thank you. Mr. Graham, would you like to go over the rules again?
Thank you, Mayor. This is the time for public comment. Comments should be addressed to the board as a whole and not to a particular commissioner, the city staff, or the audience. The commission is here to listen, although there may be some dialogue in this public meeting setting. At this time, citizens are invited to the podium to comment. Please begin by stating your name and address.
All right, so if there's anyone who would like to speak regarding the rezoning of 4105 Dayton Boulevard, please come forward. Okay, if there are no comments, then I will close the public hearing. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll move.
We have a motion from the across the street neighbor, Commissioner Phillips. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
We have a second from Commissioner Fairbanks Harvey. Any further discussion of the board? Okay, if not, then we've already had our public hearing. I'll have asked Ms. Sheldon to please call the vote for us.
Mayor John Barry,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Stephanie Dalton,
Yes.
Commissioner Jamie Fairbanks Harvey,
Yes.
Commissioner Pete Phillips,
Yes.
Commissioner Hayes Wilkinson.
Yes.
Motion carries on first reading. We'll have a second and final reading at our next meeting. Thank you very much, Mr. Kelly. I'd like to ask for a rearrangement of our next agenda item. If it's all right with everyone, I'd like to move item L to our next agenda item. And that is to allow Mr. Gravy to speak and go ahead and move along. Is that all right with everyone?
Yes.
Okay. So moving to item L, resolution number 24-1754, a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of the City of Red Bank, Tennessee, authorizing an application to the Tennessee Arts Commission for the Arts Project Support Grant in an amount of up to $1,000 with a 1-to-1 match commitment if awarded. Mr. Gravy.
Thank you, and good evening, Commission.
Good evening.
We are in the midst of creating our event calendar for the next year, which is very exciting. And from our Parks and Recreation Master Plan, one of the highlighted additions is arts-based events and festivals. And in collaboration with one of our many fantastic citizen advisory boards, the Art Advisory Board, we would like to plan on adding an arts festival to our yearly calendar events. So this would be a first pilot run of this kind for Red Bank. And with the support of the Arts Advisory Board, helping find local artists in Red Bank and the surrounding area to put on a fully immersive arts festival. From demonstrations to art sales to music and dance happening on stage, really culminating in something we haven't been able to do in Red Bank before. To help fund this event, we would like to apply for the Arts Project Support Grant in an amount of $1,000 from the Tennessee Arts Commission. This is, as Mayor Barry said, a 1-to-1 match. And we would budget for under the Parks and Recreation special events line item for 2026. So that's where the money would be coming from, just like our Food Truck Fridays, our community movie nights, etc. So we'd just be adding that into our repertoire. We are eligible to apply for this grant, being a local government in Hamilton County and hitting multiple approved uses for the funds with this event. So we are asking the commission to sign this resolution, allowing us to apply for the Arts Project Supply Grant for fiscal year 2026.
Do you have a time of year in mind for this new annual event?
Yes, the Arts Committee or the Arts Board would like to do it in September. And so as we're looking at our other dates of things working around, we think that'd be a really good fit. The weather's really nice for that time of year. Generally, we have good weather where it's not raining on us. And so we think that that would be the best fit.
Okay. Any questions for Mr. Gravy?
Did you say dancing?
Music, dance, painting,
In public?
woodworking.
But will there be hooting and hollering?
I believe there shall be.
All right.
All right. Any other questions for Mr. Gravy? Okay.
Just very excited about adding a new event to our calendar.
Well, in that
Centered
case,
around arts.
do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
We have a motion from Vice Mayor Dalton. Do I hear a second?
Second.
We have a second from Commissioner Wilkinson. Any further discussion of the board? Okay. Any comments from the residents present? If there's no comments, then we'll call the vote. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Can't wait to
Enjoy
see
your
an
dinner.
application. Thank you, Mr. Gravy. All right, returning to our regular agenda order. We'll go to item B, ordinance number 24-1268, an ordinance of the Board of Commissioners of the City of Red Bank, Tennessee, to amend Red Bank Municipal Code Title 20, Chapter 1, which chapter is known as the Red Bank Air Pollution Control Ordinance, by removing affirmative defense provisions, providing for incorporation by reference of the most current of various federal regulations, and providing for certain housekeeping provisions. First reading, Mr. Granum.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, Commissioners. The ordinance for your consideration this evening is referred to us by the Chattanooga-Hamilton County Air Pollution Control Bureau. As you know, from time to time, we are asked to update our Red Bank ordinances to remain consistent with other jurisdictions in the region and to ensure the highest possible level of air quality. Ron Drumeller, the Executive Director of the Chattanooga-Hamilton County Air Pollution Control Bureau, provided us with this relatively small revision to our air pollution ordinance. Ron indicates the primary purpose of these revisions is to remove, quote, affirmative defense, unquote, provisions that apply to excess emissions during periods of startup, shutdown, and malfunction, as directed by the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. Other pertinent revisions concern tightening a national ambient air quality standard and the incorporation by reference of the most current various federal regulations. The Air Pollution Control Board unanimously recommends all of these revisions and asks the City of Red Bank to enact them. Several other jurisdictions have already enacted these revisions, including Hamilton County, the City of Chattanooga, East Ridge, and Walden. Thank you, Mayor.
Well, if Hamilton County and Chattanooga have already approved them, it hardly makes sense for our little bubble to be excluded from within those jurisdictions. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll move.
We have a-
Clean air.
You're here, Commissioner Wilkinson. Do I hear a second?
I'll second, because I've never seen it too clean.
A second from Commissioner Phillips. Thank you. Any further discussion of the board? Any comments from the residents present? If there are no more comments, then Ms. Sheldon, will you please call the vote for us?
Mayor Holly Berry,
Yes?
Vice Mayor Stephanie Dalton,
Yes.
Commissioner Jamie Fairbanks Harvey,
Yes.
Commissioner Lee Phillips.
Yes.
Commissioner
Yes.
All right, motion carries on first reading. Next, we have Resolution 24-1745, a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of the City of Red Bank, Tennessee, authorizing participation by the City of Red Bank in a cooperative purchasing master agreement with by-board interlocal cooperative purchasing membership. Director Johnson.
Thank you. As we discussed in work session, in order to maintain compliance with the city's procurement policies and practices, and in efforts of workflow efficiency, participation in cooperative purchasing programs is a critical resource and a sound practice. Partnering with by-board, being similar in nature to the Omnia and Sourcewell cooperative agreements already in use by the city of Red Bank, this additional procurement resource enhances the city's ability to be both efficient in operations and cost-effective with public dollars. There is no cost to participate in those cooperatives. Again, it just opens up a better inventory of good pricing, and sometimes we have the opportunity to have a price discount because we are going through the cooperative versus if we were just out on the open market ourselves.
All right. We had some discussion about this at our 5 o'clock work session. Is there any further questions for Director Johnson? Okay. If not, do I hear a motion to approve?
I move.
We have a motion from Commissioner Phillips. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
We have a second from Commissioner Fairbanks Harvey. Any further discussion of the board? Any comments from the residents present? If there are no more comments, then we'll call the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next is Resolution 24-1746, a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of the City of Red Bank, Tennessee, authorizing a contract with Barge Design Solutions, Inc. for professional services not to exceed $59,100, utilizing the Department of Health grant funds awarded to the City of Red Bank in the amount of $50,000, and further utilizing FY25 budgeted community development funds in the amount of $9,100 to provide a right-sizing feasibility study of Dayton Boulevard to identify multimodal transportation improvement options. Dr. Johnson.
Thank you, Mayor, Commissioners. For clarification, the resolution being presented this evening is not for new contracted services. If you recall, a couple of months back, we did, by resolution, receive the award from the Tennessee Department of Health. This scope of work was included in that resolution. But again, for continuing transparency purposes, both internally and with the state of Tennessee, we wanted to bring this back to you to authorize specifically expenditures from the Department of Health's grant, in addition to the additional funds for added costs, which is the $9,100, which will be utilized from already budgeted funds from Community Development Department.
Thank you, Dr. Johnson. Any questions?
Yes. So this might have some overlap with a study we've done previously. Is that correct?
Urban Transportation Planning
Is
Grant?
that, yeah, is that what I'm thinking of?
Yeah, this really started from those recommendations from the mobility plan that was done.
Okay.
Unfortunately, the details that they couldn't provide us was simply for the fact that we had not already performed a right-sizing study that is in compliance with TDOT standards. So that was one of the first recommendations that came out of that mobility, was to really start fine-tuning any potential designs. We need to have that study to ensure what it is we think we want, that the roadway and the traffic would actually support those developments.
Okay, that answers my question. I just wasn't sure where the overlap or the holes were between those two. So, thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll move.
We have a motion from Vice Mayor Dalton. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
We have a second from Commissioner Wilkinson. Any further discussion of the board? Any comments from the residents present? All right, if there's no more comments, I'll call the vote. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, thank you, Director Johnson. Next item, resolution number 24-1746, a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of the City of Red Bank, Tennessee, authorizing a contract with Barge Design Solutions, Inc. for professional services not to exceed, oh wait, I'm sorry, I'm reading the same one again. There's a lot of barge in here today. Item E, Resolution 24-1747, a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of the City of Red Bank, Tennessee, authorizing the city to participate and accept the Public Entity Partners James L. Richardson Driver Grant Matching Grant Program. That's much shorter than the last one.
Very much shorter.
Thank you, Director Tate.
Automobile accidents are one of the leading causes of injuries among local government employees and also lead to liability and vehicle damage claims. The James L. Richardson Driver Grant provided by HELP, our Public Entity Partners, helps the city offset the cost of certain driver safety benefits that we can participate in. One of those is GPS monitoring on vehicles, which the city has had in place for probably over 12 years. It is a 50-50 matching grant up to $4,000. And to receive the entire full amount of the $4,000 grant, we have to spend $8,000. But we are budgeted this year to spend over $12,000 for the standard service. So this would help offset those costs if we are selected with your permission to apply for this grant.
Thank you very much. Any questions for Director Tate? All right, if not, do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll move.
We have a motion from Vice Mayor Dalton. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
We have a second from Commissioner Fairbanks Harvey. Any further discussion of the board? Any comments from the residents present? If there are no comments, then I'll call the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next up, item F, resolution number 24-1748, a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of the City of Red Bank, Tennessee, proclaiming Saturday, November 30th, 2024, Small Business Saturday within the City of Red Bank, Tennessee. Mr. Brown.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, Commissioners.
Good evening.
For this year's Small Business Saturday resolution, we worked with Pam Wu of the National Small Business Saturday Coalition. She refreshed our facts and figures with the latest Small Business Administration information. We also added information highlighting the City of Red Bank's membership in the Chattanooga Chamber of Commerce and the city's participation in the Chamber's Northside Business Council, which meets the first Tuesday of each month, 11:30 to 1 at the Hamilton County Business Development Center Incubator. With your permission, Mayor, I'll read the proclamation.
Please.
Whereas the City Commission of the City of Red Bank, Tennessee celebrates our local small businesses and the contributions they make to our local economy and community. According to the United States Small Business Administration, there are 34.7 million small businesses in the United States. They represent 99.7% of all firms with paid employees in the United States. And small business are responsible for 61.1% of net new jobs created from 1995. Whereas small business employs 45.9% of the employees in the private sector in the United States, with consumers more eager to support small business communities in this post-COVID economy, and small business owners are still working to make up the revenue lost through the pandemic. And whereas 96% of consumers who shop on Small Business Saturday agree that shopping at small, independently owned businesses supports their commitment to making purchases that have a positive social, economic, and environmental impact. And 97% of consumers who shop at Small Business Saturday agree that small businesses are essential to their community. And whereas 95% of consumers who shop on Small Business Saturday report the day makes them want to shop or eat at small, independently owned businesses all year long, not just during the holiday season. And whereas the City Commission of the City of Red Bank, Tennessee supports our local businesses that create jobs, boost our local economy, and preserve our community. And whereas the City of Red Bank is a member of the Chattanooga Chamber of Commerce and an active participant in the Chamber's Northside Business Council, which meets the first Tuesday of each month, 11:30 to 1 at the Hamilton County Business Development Incubator, with a goal to help connect and grow entrepreneurs, startups, and small businesses in Red Bank, North Shore, and Lupton City. All are welcome. And whereas advocacy groups, as well as the public and private organizations across the country, have endorsed the Saturday after Thanksgiving as Small Business Saturday. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the City Commission of the City of Red Bank, Tennessee does hereby proclaim November 30, 2024 as Small Business Saturday, and urges the residents of our community and communities across the country to support small businesses and merchants on Small Business Saturday and throughout the year.
Thank you very much, Mr. Graham. Do I hear a motion to approve? I'll move. I have a motion from Vice Mayor Dalton, a member of the Red Bank North Shore Business Council, right?
We are in transition right now, but we will be called the Northside Business Council.
Northside Business Council. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
We have a second from Commissioner Fairbanks Harvey. Any further discussion of the board? Any comments from the residents present? Okay. I'll just say we do love our small businesses in Red Bank, and we have quite a few of them.
We'll see a few more too.
Yes.
Rezoning there.
Well, yes, and we've got La Delicia, a new restaurant opening hopefully later this week near Martin Road.
Oh, the one
Next
with
to
the
the
food truck was?
Tienda.
Yeah, next to the new
Okay.
Tienda. which sells fresh produce, by the way.
Okay.
And then we've got several more businesses and restaurants up and coming very shortly, in addition to, of course, all the wonderful, lovely businesses we already have open, several of which make Thanksgiving pies. Today, I think, is the last day. Tomorrow is the last day to pre-order your Thanksgiving pie from Bread and Butter. And I don't have the pre-order date, but you can also pre-order Thanksgiving pies from Pie R Squared. So 2 different Thanksgiving pie options here in Red Bank. Okay, that all aside, are there any comments from the residents present? Then I will call the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next is resolution number 24-1749. A resolution of the Board of Commissioners of the City of Red Bank, Tennessee, authorizing the payment for Geographic Information System, GIS services, as part of an interlocal agreement in the amount of $10,730 payable to the Hamilton County Trustee's Office on behalf of the Hamilton County Geospatial Technology Department. Director Tate.
Thank you, Mayor. A lot of good words in that.
Yep.
If I could, I'll just read the resolution. I think it explains for those here in attendance, it'll explain better what we're paying for in this endeavor. Whereas in 2006, the City of Red Bank partnered with Hamilton County, Tennessee Geospatial Technology Division for Geographic Information Services. And whereas this service is hosted online by Hamilton County and is provided free for public use. And whereas this available public service contains large amounts of significant regional data that includes, but not limited to, parcel identification, current zoning, state, county, and local political boundaries, FEMA flood zones, water quality jurisdictions, WWTA infrastructure, biannual overhead imagery, and more. And whereas the Hamilton County Geospatial Technology Division continuously updates this information to include information which from time to time is provided by the City of Red Bank in order to stay regionally current from year to year. And whereas while this is free to the public, the Hamilton County Commission has established user access management fees for this service based on the number of parcels in the interlocal cooperating municipalities geographical subdivision, which is the basis for the $10,730 fee. And whereas if this service were provided solely by the City of Red Bank, the cost would be exorbitant and it would not be affordable, but it is through the existing interlocal agreement, which renews from year to year in perpetuity. And this is a budgeted item in the Public Works Streets Department from year to year. We've been paying this as long as I've been here. And that's why the staff and anybody can log on to Hamilton County GIS website and look at certain information.
Thank you very much. Any questions for Director Tate?
Yep. I know we've brought some GIS services in-house too. This is information that Michael can source and utilize. Is that correct? Or is he managing?
He's managing, he's managing
data?
separate. Yes, yes, he's managing, he's using the ArcGIS. This here is more, and I don't know all the terminology, but this is more standard, public information.
I do want to provide compliments to Red Bank City staff on the new GIS map, now available for finding out what day your trash pickup is available.
That is thanks to Michael.
Yes. When I first moved to Red Bank, I bought my house and the previous occupant left the trash can there, but I didn't know what day of the week to put it out. And I searched on the website for some time trying to find a map saying, what day my trash day is. Never found anything. Ended up having to call City Hall during business hours and simply list off my address to get somebody to tell me what day it was. So I'm excited to see
Well,
that.
I can tell you where that started from. One of our sister municipalities with probably the greatest connection to the City of Red Bank, first football game of the year for decades. Just recently took on iWorks after conversations with us. And Kate was showing me their website the other day, and she showed me an interactive map. And I said, why can we not do that? I said, I want to do that. She went and talked to Michael, and by the end of the day, he had it up. Just like that. All I got to do is ask.
Well, it's beautiful work. Well done. So does anyone have any questions? All right. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll move.
We have a motion from Commissioner Phillips. Do I have a second?
Second.
We have a second from Commissioner Wilkinson. Any further discussion of the board? Any comments from the residents present? If there's no comments, we'll call the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item H, resolution number 24-1750. A resolution of the Board of Commissioners of the City of Red Bank, Tennessee to authorize the additional expense for the purchase cost of one brush truck for the Public Works Department in the amount of $33,000 out of the Solid Waste Fund and payable to Lee Smith, Inc. Director Tate.
Thank you, Mayor. As I explained in the work session, this was the purchase of a truck that was made in 2021 and was just recently completed and delivered to the City of Red Bank with a price increase based on the cost of steel, microchip shortages, and various other things that the 2021 order for a 2023 truck became a 2025 reality with a slightly higher cost. And it is a much needed truck. And if I could read one statement that I just received, it said, "Would you please let the commissioners know that I'll be really good at taking care of the truck if they'll let me keep it."
John.
John.
Yes. Well, you tell old Fluffy, he better.
I don't know about John.
He's already here. You have to always have a pet name for it. All right. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll move.
We have a motion from Vice Mayor Dalton. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
We have a second from Commissioner Wilkinson. Any further discussion of the board? The only thing that would be more expensive than this, and if we ordered it today,
Yes.
then it'd be even more. All right. Is there any comments from the residents present? If there's no more comments, I'll call the vote. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. The brush truck gets to stay.
My 4-year-old's gonna love it.
All right, resolution number 24-1751, a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of the City of Red Bank, Tennessee, authorizing a scope of work with Barge Design Solutions to develop and design a proposed school zone around Point Christian Academy located at 4000 Dayton Boulevard, along with a study of the probability for right-sizing Ashland Terrace from the intersection of Dayton Boulevard to the east on Ashland Terrace and to the city limits at Crestview and Knollwood Drives for a cost of $44,500 for both. Director Tate.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm going to try to do a little bit better this time than I did in the work session. I felt like I left a lot of information out. As I stated before, 4000 Dayton Boulevard is a home of Red Bank Baptist Church, who recently opened a private school on their property. And it was brought to the city's attention too late in the year to do anything about a school zone. After doing some research, discovered that Tennessee state law authorizes and dictates that a municipality establish school zones within its jurisdiction without regard to classification of the school. And furthermore, it is the responsibility of the director of schools with the approval of the Board of Education, to which a private school does not have. And also, I wanted to point out that any safety devices, signs, flashing signs, lights, so forth and so on, would have to be placed in the city right of way to be in compliance with the manual uniform traffic code. So, you know, it's not like they can open up school and then put stuff in their parking lot. It has to be on the right of way to direct traffic according to Federal Highway Administration laws. Now, this resolution is not only to establish a safety zone around the school for public safety, not necessarily for the school, but for kids that may be walking as well as adults that may be walking in the area. It is also to look at right-sizing Ashland Terrace and what potential we may have there. It is also to do speed limit studies on Ashland Terrace. I don't know how many of the commissioners are familiar with the 25-mile-an-hour speed zone on Ashland Terrace and how that was established, but that can only be established by elected officials, a board of commissioners. It can't be done by the city manager. It can't be done by myself. It has to be, done by the vote of the commission. And that is also going to be part of the study to determine what a speed limit on Ashland Terrace would look like, and in consideration of it being in a school zone as well. And so if anybody has any other questions, I'll do my best to answer those. Yes, ma'am.
So you said you read the statute that says that it authorizes the municipality to do this, but does it require the municipality to do this? And does it require the municipality to cover the full cost of this on their own? In a typical situation where you've got like a public school, would the school board contribute toward this kind of study and or development of a school zone, et cetera?
I don't know that I can answer those in that great a detail, other than the fact that it authorizes the city to establish a school zone. And according to the Federal Highway Administration, the MUTCD, those devices have to be around the school zone placed in our right of way. So it's in the city's interest to control when and where and what is placed in that, because we have a larger public safety concern, with traffic and pedestrians and the increased activity around the school. And I don't know if Mr. Stolz would have anything to add to that, but that is my recollection and understanding of what the state statute directs us to do.
Mr. Stolz?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know the answer about has to.
Okay.
And that's what you were asking.
That was
But there-
one of my questions. The other question, and I don't know if you do, would recall this, when there has been a public school zone established, is it, has it been the cost of that study and or the equipment installation been covered by the city? Or you not sure? Okay.
I've never been associated with establishing a school zone. The middle school, there was
Probably
already a
would be
school
the
zone in
most
Morrison
recent.
Springs. It
Sure.
was extended.
Okay.
Because a state statute requires, and there again, that gets into the area of the elected officials can set the speed limit in a school zone. Not the city manager, not myself again. And so, in a case like that, and what you're talking about is you're talking about a public versus private school scenario. A public school, has public dollars, for public safety when they build a school. They have to. A private school doesn't have those same public dollars, but there's still a public safety element that goes along with that, the city has to be mindful of.
Do you have an estimated cost on what it would take to set up the school zone with all the signage and lights and?
No, ma'am, and that's what this study's for.
Okay.
This study is going to do the fact finding on what a school zone would look like so that we can source what that would be. They're going to tell us what the speed limit needs to be on Ashland Terrace is, is it going to be 25 all the time? They're going to tell us where we need traffic. There's a 500 foot buffer around a school property mandated by state law. And so Barge will take, in this study, they will take that into consideration and look at that 500 foot buffer and tell us where we need traffic signals, where we need signs. But till they complete this study, it's just my perception, so to speak, until we get something in writing. They will do the hard digging on that and come up with a solution. We actually won't spend any money except for the study at this point.
Okay.
If I may, do they currently have car riders? Or
They
do
do.
they have their own established little
They do,
safety
and
net?
another element of this is going to be Barge is going to look at their traffic in and out of the school itself. Because right now, I think they're coming in 2 or 3 different ways. And it's caused a little bit of confusion for people dropping off, coming down Ashland Terrace because they want to go across traffic. And they're going to look at issues like that concerning the school.
And then second and last, once the study is established, will the representatives from the school come alongside and have those conversations and maybe a small percentage contributing to have their investment?
We will have those conversations after the study is completed and find out, what our responsibilities are in this matter. We have spoken with the school, I guess she's called the headmaster. She would have just been called principal. She's the headmaster and their security team that they have. They have a security team there as well. And the police department, was in that meeting. And so we've already, gotten with them and got to this point. And so waiting the outcome of the study, we'll know more about what our options are, what our costs might be.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions for Director Tate?
Mayor, may I?
Please.
I think the concern about should there be a cost share, that will come from the study if there's that potential of. My assessment as city manager is that the burden is on us to partner with the school and come up with something that is acceptable to all parties. So I don't want to say that we're going to do the study and then tell them what the answer is. We're going to work with them to make sure it works for them and works for us. And it was an opportunity really to take a look at Ashland Terrace. The school zone is just one piece of it. We've been wanting to take a look at Ashland Terrace. There's a variety of issues that are going on there. We know there's speeding. It's a very, very difficult stretch of road to do any enforcement on. There's no place to pull over. There's high volumes. So from the standpoint of Red Bank Police Department really being able to engage is very problematic. So we have to build in features of the road that slow people down. It isn't just an enforcement scenario. We have to rethink the flow of traffic. There's high volumes. There's a desire for multimodal, specifically pedestrian, and there's opportunities. If we look at right sizing, then we can create space maybe for bike and ped. And we have issues with the pavement condition. We have issues with the striping. And you put all this together, and there's a few more issues too. This study will take a look at Tacoma and Bank roads as they come into Ashland Terrace there, and they add to the complexity. So this is a holistic 360 look at the school zone at the bottom of the hill, all the way up Ashland Terrace through the S-curves to the top, to the intersection with Knollwood and Crestview, and give us a complete set of recommendations. And then we'll be in a strong position to know what works best for all parties. If there's a cost share, I don't want to hold out any expectation. There is, as I look at the statute, I think the city has the burden. Once there's a school, we have to do what statute requires us to do, whether somebody's going to pay us for that or not. We have to do it. So I would be surprised if there's any ability to cost share that. But I didn't want to hold our ability to do the right thing on the road captive to somebody else's ability to contribute on a cost share. But we have to do what we have to do as a city for safety purposes. So I just want to create that expectation that we're not looking at leaning on other parties to make this thing work. We have to do what we have to do from a safety standpoint as a city.
I have one more question. You mentioned that it's going to take into account the Bank Street and Tacoma entrances, egresses onto Ashland Terrace. Is it also going to consider access management for like the businesses around there? I have in particular Jack's in mind. Will that be part of that study?
That would be included in the study. They will take a look at that. You know, the traffic safety committee, we've looked at that. You know, there's a side entrance there to Jack's, but it's an entrance only. You can turn right out of Jack's, but you know, people still come out and turn left and go across 3 lanes of traffic trying to go uphill. And there are signs there that say no left turn, but you know, that will be something that they will take into consideration. That will stretch down through there, egress and ingress to all those parking lots and the flow of traffic. And I will say this too, that the school has told us that I think this year they go through 3rd grade. They intend to go through 5th grade, I believe, next year, and they're eventually going to be a K through 12 school.
So we're expecting enrollment to continue to increase over
Right.
time.
Which means more traffic on the road.
And more students and more families. Okay. Any other questions for Director Tate?
No, but a comment is, I mean, it's a thoroughfare. It's a way from Morrison Springs to Ashland Terrace. You can't control that, but hopefully slow it down and recognize when there's a school zone there that by the law.
There are opportunities
Yeah.
for improvement. All right. So if there's no, do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll move.
We have a motion from Commissioner Fairbanks Harvey. Do I hear a second?
I'll say, okay, I'll wait.
I'll take a second from Commissioner Phillips. All right. Any further discussion of the board? Any comments from the residents present? All right, we did receive a comment during the work session on this agenda item. Okay, if there are no more comments, I'll call the vote. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item, resolution number 24-1752, a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of the City of Red Bank, Tennessee, authorizing 3 contract amendments not to exceed $76,250 with Barge Design Solutions for engineering services necessary for the completion of Red Bank's comprehensive stormwater assets management plan and to provide professional design services with construction oversight for restoration of the White Oak Park detention ponds to include an opinion of probable construction cost, OPCC, associated with the restoration project utilizing obligated American Rescue Plan Act, ARPA funds in match to the TDEC non-competitive water infrastructure grant. Director Johnson.
What a
You what? I didn't hear that.
I'm not saying it again. Watch the recording.
Thank you, Mayor. I think we are learning that, the more entities we have involved in some of our projects, the lengthier the title gets. Again, that is to identify transparency and for documentation, not just during the project, but after this project's closed. These funds are subject to single audit, because we're utilizing federal money. So again, 3, 4, 5+ years from now, when audits come in, these records need to tell the whole story. So thank you for getting through that title. I appreciate it very much. The resolution before you is to approve 3 contract amendments to the existing professional contract services with Barge Design, and is authorizing additional expenditures specific to the encapsulated portion of Stringer's Branch. For 1 is specialized imaging of the stream's encapsulation, and 2 is necessary deed research of the parcels which are uniquely attached to the stream itself. Additionally, the 3rd contract amendment is for design services and construction oversight for the rehabilitation of the existing retention ponds at White Oak Park. Barge will provide the engineering design for the project, from which the city will release an RFP for the work to be performed. Once a contractor is selected, then a contract will be brought back to commission for further execution for work to begin. The total cost of all 3 contract amendments will not exceed $76,250. As a reminder, the existing contract with Barge is for the Stormwater Asset Mapping and Management Plan, and is funded by the TDEC grant awarded in matching ARPA funds previously allocated for these specific projects.
Okay. That was even more of a mouthful for you.
And when you say matching funds, you're talking about matching grant
Matching
funds?
grant funds.
Thank you.
Right. Okay, as we had a report from Ms. Pickle at the beginning of our work session, a financial update that talked about our ARPA funds and that all of it's been allocated and what's been spent and not spent. And this is some of the money that's to be spent.
Correct.
That's
This
been
is
allocated.
Really winding down our overall objectives for our asset mapping plan, which obviously included the mapping and the plan itself. We had a piece of equipment that was purchased, and then this falls into the construction category. All along the way, as we bring these to you, they also get submitted to TDEC for their review and approval to make sure that we are maintaining our ongoing compliance with those grant regulations.
Okay. Well, any questions for Director Johnson? Do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll move.
We have a motion from Commissioner Phillips. Do I hear a second?
Second.
We have a second from Commissioner Wilkinson. Any further discussion of the board?
Well, this is one of those things that don't really seem important until your house floods and you say, why didn't the city do something? Well, this is doing something. All right. So,
And towards our ongoing stormwater goals
Absolutely.
for the city. All right, any comments from the residents present? Okay, if there are no more comments, I'll call the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item, K, resolution number 24-1753, a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of the City of Red Bank, Tennessee, authorizing the one-time expenditure of $13,258 for unplanned repairs to the Public Works Department 2018 New Holland tractor to Chattanooga Tractor and Equipment for the Red Bank Public Works Street Division. Director Tate.
Thank you, Mayor. As the mayor read in the title, the city owns a 2018 New Holland tractor. It has been a very good piece of equipment and very reliable as of this year. And this year, in the past 4 months, it's suffered a series of mechanical malfunctions, from the mowing head that it carries that cuts the ditches in the right of way and trims trees. And now it has developed a hydraulic leak, and it must be broken into and have the repair made internally. And this is in the, this is a budgeted item out of the Public Works Street Division budget. This tractor operates about 8 months out of the year, give or take, seasonally. And it's been well serviced and maintained in between those times. But just unexpectedly, it's suffered some failures this year, which has quickly depleted the street department's vehicle maintenance budget. But it must, this repair has to be done in order to have it ready for spring. Same budget year, but come March, it'll need to be back out on the street doing its job. And that's about it.
So it's primarily used for mowing. Okay, do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll move.
We have a motion from Vice Mayor Dalton. Do I hear a second?
Second.
We have a second from Commissioner Wilkinson. Any further discussion of the board?
Which one is this? Is this one of those New Hollands or
New Holland, big, tall.
sorry, that's just
No, now's the
curiosity
time.
more so than anything.
And where's the park coming from?
Chattanooga Tractor. They are the New Holland.
They're the dealer.
Dealership.
Okay,
right? They
okay.
Service and stuff.
All right, thank you.
All right. Any comments from the residents present? If there are no comments, then I'll call the vote. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. We already covered item L earlier in the agenda. So moving on to item M, resolution number 24-1755, resolution to award contract to RJ Young for document management and digitization, not to exceed $173,000. ARPA funds. Oh, sorry, I'm on the wrong. This one doesn't have the resolution number on it.
It's not one. It says there's
It's
1755.
1755. Thank you. Okay.
The caption is on the actual, yeah, it
Right.
wasn't in the.
Okay. Oh, I see. ARPA funds. I'm just trying to figure out where I left off.
You can, it's different. You should just start over.
I'll just start over. Resolution 24-1755. A resolution of the Board of Commissioners of the City of Red Bank, Tennessee to authorize and approve an agreement with RJ Young to implement an electronic and computer accessible document records digitization system and process for the city. Thank you. Ms. Bradley Rump, thank you for joining us and for sticking with us through this entire meeting as well. Go ahead, please.
So as stated in the work session meeting, the digitalization of visualizing our records and moving away from storing mail will move the city forward in quicker services and organization. The solution will be the foundation to transform the city of Red Bank to digital transformation. Funding for this has been earmarked in ARPA funds.
Okay. Any questions for our IT manager? Okay. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll move.
We have a motion from Commissioner Phillips. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
We have a second from Vice Mayor Dalton. Any further discussion of the board?
I'm very excited for Miss Donahue to
And
get started on this. She's been working really hard to get this in place.
yes, thank you both for all the work I know you've put into this just to get us to this point, because I know it's been a long road and there's a long road yet ahead, but it'll all be worth it at the end. All right, any comments from the residents present? If there's no more comments, I'll call the vote. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, that's our last vote for the evening, but we do have one agenda item, number 24-878, appointment of Jordan Hayes to the Board of Floodplain Review. Mr. Graham, is that one you? Nope, Dr. Johnson. Thank you.
Apologize, I thought I was done. The Red Bank Floodplain Review Board was established by ordinance, and more so, it is for us to maintain compliance with the National Flood Insurance Program. If you've never been impacted by the desire or the requirement to carry flood insurance, it does make a difference. So again, participation does require that board to be established. It is an appointment made by the city manager to stagger terms. Mr. Jordan Hayes is a Red Bank City resident and is a professional licensed civil engineer with more than 10 years experience in flood risk and mitigation modeling. A couple of months ago, he did reach out and express an interest in all things that are happening in Red Bank. So when this term became available, we thought it was a really good fit. So again, this is an advisory opportunity to let you know Mr. Brennan will make that appointment, and we will continue to move forward with maintaining compliance.
All right. Does everyone consider themselves duly advised?
Yes.
Thank you. And we thank Mr. Hayes for his willingness to serve, providing his considerable expertise to our city.
Absolutely.
All right, that's our agenda items. We've reached the time for citizen comments for items not on tonight's agenda. Mr. Granum?
Thank you, Mayor. This is the time for citizen comments. Please observe these rules. Comments are limited to 3 minutes or less, and the city recorder will operate a timer visible on the dais. Please respect her direction and conclude any comments in time expires. Comments should be addressed to the board as a whole, and not to a particular commissioner, the city staff, or the audience. The commission is here to listen, not to respond or engage in back and forth, so please do not expect a reply during public comment. At this time, citizens are invited to the podium to comment. Please begin by stating your name and address.
All right, if there are no comments for items not on tonight's agenda, then do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I'll move.
Commissioner Phillips' final
Who's gonna
motion,
take
ladies
his
and gentlemen.
Last one I get,
Do I
right
hear-
there.
Do I hear a
You learned
second?
it, buddy.
I'll second.
That's a competition. Second from Vice Mayor Dalton. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Meeting adjourned. Thank you all for being here tonight.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Return well served.
Thank you.